Hello, this short recording is on an overview of Virginia's court system. Please make sure that you return to the right page in your resource book and that you're ready to go. To start off, I want to briefly compare Virginia's court system to the U.S. court system. So here's what I'd like for you guys to do. The page to the left, the previous page of next to the overview of Virginia's court system should be blank. So what I'd like for you guys to do is get ready to write on that page to the left so that eventually what you'll be doing is you'll be putting 3 items, 1, 2, and 3 on the left side of your page and making notes just to help you think through stuff on the right side. So the first thing I want you to do is on the left side of the page next to Virginia Supreme Court, I want you guys to write just like the U.S. Supreme Court and then draw an arrow to the Virginia Supreme Court, because as we find, they're basically going to be the same. Then go ahead and do the same thing next to the appellate court. Right, just like the U.S. Appellate Court, and draw an arrow pointing to Virginia's Appellate Court. In both cases, you can call it the Court of Appeals. We're just going with Appellate Court here. Now, what's going to be different is the next thing you're going to write, and that is going to be split the U.S. District Court in half with an arrow going to Circuit Court and an arrow going to District Court. So basically, Virginia's Circuit Court and Virginia's District Court, which is usually called the General District Court, are the two parts that have been split in half from the U.S. District Court. So they took the U.S. District Court, chopped it in half, and gave some responsibility to the Circuit Court and some responsibility to the District Court. Alright, so let's go back to the worksheet. So on the worksheet, we're going to start with the Virginia Supreme Court at the top. Now, as we just said, it's very similar to the U.S. Supreme Court. So we find that it has appellate jurisdiction and it has limited original jurisdiction. Does it have judges? Yes, and they are called justices. Is there a jury? Nope. Can you appeal after this? Nope. And it is therefore the Court of Final Appeal in Virginia. And the Virginia Supreme Court also has judicial review in Virginia. So, just like the U.S. Supreme Court can declare laws that Congress makes or actions of the President to be unconstitutional, the Virginia Supreme Court can declare that laws made by the General Assembly and actions of the governor are unconstitutional. Now, the only time when you can appeal beyond the Virginia Supreme Court is if you're appealing outside of Virginia's court system to the U.S. Supreme Court. If somehow you feel as though your U.S. rights have been violated. But normally, in most situations, once you get to the Virginia Supreme Court, it is the Court of Final Appeal, and you have no other options. Alright, let's look at the appellate court. The appellate court's jurisdiction is appellate from the circuit court. So it's appellate from the circuit court. Does it have judges? Yes. Is there a jury? No. Can you appeal? Yes, to the Supreme Court. And we're going to leave that other section blank. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the circuit court. Now, the circuit court has original jurisdiction with criminal cases that are felonies And it also has original jurisdiction with high dollar civil cases. So it has original jurisdiction with felony criminal cases, in other words, a serious criminal case, and high dollar civil cases. It also has appellate jurisdiction from the district court. So if there's a felony criminal case or a high dollar civil case, it's going to start out in the circuit. The only other way to get to the circuit is to appeal a case from the district court. Does it have judges? Yes. Does it have a jury? Yes. It is the only court in Virginia that has a jury. Where do you appeal to? Well, you would appeal up to the appellate court from the circuit court. So it might be good off the side of the other portion to write, only court in Virginia to have a jury. So this is important to remember because it's different. In the U.S. court system, it's the district court with the jury, but here in Virginia, it's the circuit court that has the jury. And you can also add off the side here that this is a trial court. So trials are conducted in the circuit court. So that means they have the juries, they can have witnesses, they can have evidence, all sorts of the different elements that you would see in the U.S. District Court would appear in Virginia's Circuit Court. Okay, let's go to the District Court. It has original jurisdiction over criminal cases that are misdemeanors. Now, those are the small crimes. And it also has low dollar civil cases. So anything with a low dollar civil case goes to the district court. Anything with a high dollar civil case goes to the circuit court. Usually it's around $15,000 to $20,000. That's the separation between the two. So, does it have a judge? Yes. Does it have a jury? No. Where do you appeal to? You appeal to the circuit court. So in this case, if somebody is upset with how their trial went in the district court, they can appeal to the circuit court and get that jury trial that they are guaranteed to have under the 6th Amendment or 7th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. Anything additional to add on that with the district court? I would add that this has the small claims court, which is when one person is suing someone else for small claims. This is when a judge is deciding that. We talked about this we'll talk about this in more detail when you're learning about civil cases. Continuing on to the juvenile and domestic relations, which is part of the district court. It has original jurisdiction with juvenile and family cases. There is a judge, there is not a jury, and it can be appealed to the circuit or to the Supreme Court, depending on the situation. The only other thing on the page is down at the bottom, asking what does a magistrate do? Well, a magistrate does several things. They can issue search warrants, they can issue arrest warrants, they can issue a subpoena, a summons, and they set bail. So they're the ones who determine how much bail someone has to pay. For a subpoena, a subpoena is a court order requiring someone to appear in court as a witness, and a summons is a court order requiring someone to show up as a defendant. Thanks for listening.